like this. If you're in that position, that puts strain on your suboccipitals as well as causes tension in your upper shoulders, and usually as a result of tightness in the muscles in the front of the chest and weakness in your deep neck flexors here and in your upper back. So it's just difficult to get you back into this position. Well, the great news here is you're in good company. We see this all day. And yes, it's from usually working on a computer, but it's also from an inactivity or an overdominance of pressing type work or working in front of you like this, which is, of course, what we all do on computers and so forth, and phones, reading books, and so forth. So there's a multitude of reasons why that happens. Usually it's from maintaining a bad posture over a long period of time and not counterbalancing the ramifications that are basically strengthening and stretching your way out of that. So let's talk about how we assess this. During your evaluation, what we'll do is start with having you just sit, and I'm watching what position are you in, what's typical for you. You'll talk about what types of problems or what moments you feel it. So typically people feel it at work or when they're lifting weights or doing something like that. But usually it's just apparent as you're walking in that someone who is tight in their chest and has tight SCM or deep neck flexors where they're kind of flexed forward like that, we can see that just as you're walking in. It's usually pretty obvious. So that creates all sorts of tension and pain in the neck, which can result in things called facet syndrome or discogenic pain, kind of a whole slew of different types of problems. But our assessments will focus around, of course, postural, then range of motion. So we want to see where you're restricted, where you're not, and then also where you're weak in your neck as well as upper back and even lower back, because that plays a part as a foundation to everything. Imagine if I'm tucked here, that makes it easier for me to flex in that position. So just by fixing the foundation, it often fixes everything above it. So we will also do some neurological evaluation and so forth to just make sure we come up with a very clear diagnosis. Once we've developed a very clear diagnosis, we move on to giving you a customized treatment plan. So that will consist of soft tissue work to loosen up, so massage, deep tissue work, trigger point work on anything that's tight and restricted. So typically the muscles of the chest, suboccipitals as well as neck. That is what kind of pulls you forward into that protracted neck position there. So once those are loosened up and we give you some home exercises to stretch those, then we also do chiropractic manipulation, so adjusting to loosen up the joints that are restricted that aren't allowing you to get into that position. And then we basically strengthen what's weak, loosen what's tight. And that usually takes a period of time where you go home, you do some training, we work on you when you're in the office, and we also change your sitting position or work position so that that's not also exacerbating the problem. If you're having neck pain and you feel like your posture is bad and you'd like some help getting better, come in. We do this all day. This is super easy for us, and we'd love to help.